Hi class, my name is Matthew Kane and I want to thank you for your time and attention for this informative speech. The specific purpose of this speech is to inform my audience of the three different options you have available to utilize the new I-405 express lanes. The central idea of this speech is that there's new regulations and new restrictions in place that we may not be accustomed to, and that after this speech you will know that the new guidelines and restrictions, possibly avoiding getting pulled over in a citation or a fee utilizing the new express lanes. Have you ever been running late to Northwest University for a class on I-405 and it's congested, or possibly a meeting or an interview, and you look over to the left and you see the new express lane in place and nobody is utilizing it as far as you can see? Well, if that's ever been you, and if that's ever been your case, I hope to inform you of the different options and regulations and restrictions available to you. So next time you're in this situation, you could choose if you wanted to utilize the I-405 express lanes. Most of us that have traveled down I-405 have seen the new cameras, infrared lights, and the double white lines in place, and just never quite understood the benefits or how to utilize the benefits. Some of the data that's been reported is during the morning commute times and the weekdays, there's been a 30-minute commute savings, or in the afternoons and evenings around 5 o'clock, it's been about a 15-minute cost savings in commute time. And that's all good and great, but again, how do you understand the new guidelines and regulations, and how do you utilize the express lane? Well, you're not in your own boat. There's been 52 commuters on the first day of implementation that didn't quite understand the new restrictions and guidelines either. They weren't all given citations since it's a new program and a new policy in place, but it's good to know the different guidelines. The biggest changes that we may not be used to is that in the state of Washington, that carpooling used to be 2 occupants inside of your vehicle at all times, and you can utilize the carpool lanes. Now with the I-405 express lanes, during the peak travel time, you need 3 occupants, including the driver, and 2 occupants during the non-peak times. Another change that people aren't really accustomed to is that there's the double white lines that you can't enter and exit the carpool lane as you please. There's actually dashed lines that have entry and exit points for the toll lanes. And that's in place so that the cameras and the infrareds can see when you enter the toll lane and when you exit, so they charge you the appropriate fee. In researching this topic, I have found that there's 3 different options to utilize the express lanes. I've learned the various regulations and restrictions and some of the benefits if you did choose to utilize the I-405 express lanes. I hope to inform you of 3 options. First one being utilizing a flex pass without having the right amount of HOV occupants inside your vehicle. The second option of utilizing a flex pass with the right amount of people inside your vehicle. And the third option is not having a flex pass at all. So with that being said, let's hit the ground running. First option, flex pass. There's different times during the weekdays that are called peak times, non-peak times. 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning is a peak time for travel during a weekday. 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the afternoon or evening is considered the other peak time. If you don't have the right amount of occupants in those peak travel times, which is 3 people, then you need to utilize the flex pass in one of its 2 modes. And the first mode is the toll mode, where you toggle the switch over. You're saying, hey, I don't have the appropriate amount of HOV occupants. I'm going to pay the fee that the reader board states above me when I enter the toll lane. And in that mode, you enter the toll lane, and that can range from 75 cents all the way to $10 of a toll fee. $10 can be a lot of money to a lot of people, especially college students. And what's the other option? How do I avoid paying a $10 possible toll fee? Second option is utilizing a flex pass with the appropriate amount of people in the peak and non-peak travel times. So again, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. If you had 3 people inside of your vehicle, including the driver, you would not have to pay the fee, and you would toggle the Flex Pass into HOV mode. And this is the same for 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at night. Once you toggle over the Flex Pass to HOV mode, that read reward sign with the money and the price on it is no longer valid. You're exempt. You're following the HOV guidelines. And this also applies for non-peak travel times, which is any travel time during the weekdays outside of the 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and the 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at night. If you have 2 occupants inside your vehicle in those times, you will still be exempt with the HOV mode toggled on your Flex Pass from paying any toll fees. So those are the first 2 options, and I understand that there's a Flex Pass involved, but this is the one time that you've been late going to class, so I wasn't able to get a Flex Pass. Good news, if you don't have a Flex Pass, is that there is a third option to utilize the I-405 express lanes. And that third option is utilizing the lanes. You're paying what the read reward toll fee states when you enter that lane, and an additional $2. So that additional $2 will get mailed to your place of residence that is on your registration for your vehicle. And so with that being said, in conclusion, we've gone over the 3 different options of utilizing the I-405 express lanes. First option being utilizing a Flex Pass in toll mode, and that's without the appropriate HOV occupants for the time period. Second option is utilizing the Flex Pass in HOV mode with the appropriate amount of HOV occupants. And the final option is paying an additional $2 on top of the toll fee. So with all this being said, next time that whether you're running late or traffic's congested, now you know that you have 3 options available if you were to choose to use the I-405 express lanes. I thank you for your time, and I thank you for your attention, and I hope you have a great night.